Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Cassidy. Thanks so much for watching. Today's video is a big book haul and I'm so excited. It was my birthday like 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, something like that. And I got a ton of books for my birthday and I'm so excited to share them with all of you. Shout out to my boyfriend's mom, Dana, for getting me the majority of these books. But I did go, and with a gift card I also got for my birthday, I got a bunch of books today, which was in the little intro clip. And I'm super excited, so let's get right into it and I will share all the books that I got in this big birthday haul. Okay, so the first book that I'm going to talk about is The True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren. And I just have to say that Christina Lauren is like literally, well, it's two authors, but they are the authors duo. They are the duo that got me into romance. Like when I first started reading again, like really reading, during COVID really is when I like really picked up reading again. These books were like the books that I turned to. I like could not put them down. And this book, I haven't read it yet. I'm so excited. I think it came out like not that long ago, so I'm really excited to read it. My DoorDash is here. Sorry. So this book follows Felicity, or Fizzy Chen, who is lost. Sure, she's got an incredible career as a beloved romance novelist with a slew of bestsellers under her belt, but she's asked to give a commencement address. It hits her. She hasn't been practicing what she's preached. Live your life like a romance novel. Fizzy hasn't ever really been in love. Lust? Definitely. But the swoon-worthy, can't stop thinking about him, all-encompassing feeling she describes in her books? Nope. Never. Worse still, the optimism she spent her career encouraging in readers is starting to feel like a lie. Connor Prince, documentary filmmaker and single father, loves his work because it allows him to live near his daughter. But when his profit-minded boss orders him to create a reality TV show, Connor is out of his element and concerned for his professional reputation. Desperate to find a hook that will set his project apart from the myriad of dating shows already on the air, he finds the perfect solution after an encounter with his ex-wife, favorite author. What if he could show the queen of romance herself falling head over heels for all the world to see? Fizzy quickly picks up on his disdain for her genre and gives him a hard pass unless he agrees to cast the contestants according to her list of demands. To her surprise, he accepts her intentionally impossible terms. She decides to take it as an opportunity to rediscover the joy they've both been missing and inadvertently proves to him that there's more to crafting a love story than meets the eye. I think what makes Christina Lauren books so good is that like they just draw you in and you're like swept up in the romance, and I could read all of their books in one sitting. Like I just adore them so much. So super excited to see how this turns out. Fizzy and whatever Prince, Connor Prince, see their romance play out. Next up we have Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez? I don't know. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. But I cannot wait to read this book. I have seen this book like all over. I think Steph Bohr read it. I think Destiny and Sarah read it. So super excited because I heard that the male main character in this book is like super swoony. Like he is almost like a puppy dog is the wrong word to use, but he's like a golden retriever, like that. Okay, dog reference. No, but he's like a very sweet character. You know what I mean? Like, I think that, I don't know, I'm just so used to reading like kind of like a douchey main character, but this guy, I don't know, I guess he's not like that. Let me just read you the back and so you could figure it out for yourself. Dr. Brianna Ortiz's life is seriously flatlining. Her divorce is just about finalized, her brother's running out of time to find a kidney donor, and that promotion she wants, oh, that's probably going to the new man doctor who's already registering 80 on Brianna's pain in my ass scale. But just when all systems are setting to hate, Dr. Jacob Maddox completely flips the game by sending Brianna a letter, and it's a really good letter. Like the kind that proves that Jacob isn't actually Satan. Worse, he might be this fantastically funny and subversively likable guy who's terrible at first impressions because suddenly he and Bree are exchanging letters, sharing lunch dates in her sub closet, and discussing the merits of freakishly tiny horses. But when Jacob decides to give Brianna the best gift imaginable, a kidney for her brother, she wonders just how she can resist this quietly sexy new doctor, especially when he calls in a favor she can't refuse. Adorable. Can't wait to read that. The next book is Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune, and I read Carly Fortune's book, I think that came out last summer, Every Summer After. So good. Can't wait to read this book. This book follows Fern and Will, and it's kind of like a second chance romance. It's alternating timelines. So this is what the back says. Fern Brookbanks has wasted far too much time of her adult life thinking about Will Baxter. She spent just 24 hours in her early 20s with the aggravatingly attractive and idealistic artist, a chance encounter that spiraled into a day-long adventure in the city. The timing was wrong, but their connection was undeniable. They shared every secret, every dream, and made a pact to meet again 1 year later. Fern showed up. Will didn't. At 32, Fern's life doesn't look at all how she once imagined it would. Instead of living in the city, Fern's back home, running her mother's lakeside resort, something she vowed never to do. The place is in disarray. Her ex-boyfriend is the manager, and Fern doesn't know where to begin. She needs a plan, a lifeline. To her surprise, it comes in the form of Will, who arrives 9 years late, suitcase in tow, and an offer to help on his lips. Will may be the only person who understands what Fern's going through, but how can she possibly trust this expensive suit-wearing mirage who seems nothing like the young man she met all these years ago? Will is hiding something, and Fern's not sure she wants to know what it is. But 10 years ago, Will Baxter rescued Fern. Can she do the same for him? Sounds like I would eat that right up. Second chance romance? Yes. Sometimes the alternating point of views, like, or not alternating, but like the timeline, alternating timeline, that sometimes I'm like, I don't really care about the past. But it does matter for the story, and I don't know, I like Carly Fortune's, I liked her other books, so I think that I'll really like that, and I'm really excited. The next book I got, which I can't lie, I did already read it, and I read it in one sitting. So good. Well, actually 2 sittings, but I barely read it like in the first sitting, so we're gonna say just 1 sitting. But it is Same Time Next Summer by Annabelle Monaghan. And this book follows Sam and Wyatt, and it is also a second chance romance. And so when I started like reading what the Carly Fortune book was about, I was like, there are definitely parallels to these 2 books. Like Sam and Will in this, oops, see what I just did? Sam and Wyatt, remind me so much of Fern and Will in Meet Me at the Lake. But basically, Same Time Next Summer follows Sam, who has her life together. She's living in the city. She has she's engaged to a doctor who is like very straight and narrow, but like she likes that about him. She loves that about him. And they have their life together. And Sam's family has a beach house that they go to every summer, but she never goes anymore. She like tries to stay away from there as long as possible because she doesn't like how she feels when she goes back. She doesn't want to get pulled back into that like mentality of living at the beach and this person that she used to be. And we realize that it's because she had this whirlwind romance with this guy, Wyatt, when she was a teenager. And we don't really know what happened, but it kind of just, they stopped like all forms of communication, and she hasn't heard from him since the last summer that she spent at their beach house. And so she's getting married and she goes back to the house and Wyatt is there, surprise, surprise. And yeah, things happen between the 2 of them, and it's so good. It's pretty short. It's 270 pages, so I feel like it flows really quickly. I really enjoyed this, so yeah. Okay, switching it up a little bit because I needed to get some books that weren't all romance. So we do have some thrillers in here, some mystery thrillers. So this is Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. And I've read another one of Riley Sager's books. I can't remember what it's called, but I did read another one and I really enjoyed it. But I don't know what this one is about at all, so we're gonna learn together. I literally just like have seen it a lot of places, and I was like, I want a good thriller, I want a good mystery. So after responding to a mysterious newspaper advertisement, Jules Larson gets a job as an apartment sitter at the Bartholomew, one of Manhattan's most famous and secretive buildings. At first, the extravagance of the Bartholomew feels like a lucky break for her recently heartbroken and penniless Jules, who has been haunted by misfortune for most of her life. But when a fellow apartment sitter in the building goes missing, Jules begins to suspect there are dark forces at work behind the Bartholomew's glamorous facade. Digging deeper into the building's past, Jules soon realizes that the Bartholomew is more dangerous than she thought, and that escape may be impossible. I love a good thriller. Like, it is nice to break up the romance sometimes, and like a good thriller can really keep you going. So very excited for that. The next book I got is Summer Reading by Jen McKinley. Again, literally don't know what this is about. I was just like, summer romance, sign me up. Perfect for reading on the beach or reading in bed. This follows Samantha, who's spending a summer in Martha's Vineyard. So let's learn. For Samantha Gale, a summer on Martha's Vineyard at her family's tiny cottage was supposed to be about resurrecting her career as a chef, until she's tasked with chaperoning her half-brother Tyler. The teenage brainiac is spending his summer at the local library in a robotics competition, and there's no place Sam, who has dyslexia, likes less than the library. And because the universe hates her, the library's interim director turns out to be the hot reader guy whose book she accidentally destroyed on the ferry ride to the island. Bennett Reynolds is on a quest to find his father, whose identity he's never known. He's taken the temporary job on the island to research the summer his mother spent there when she got pregnant with him. Ben tells himself he isn't interested in a relationship right now. Yet, as soon as Sam knocks his book into the ocean, he can't stop thinking about her. An irresistible attraction blossoms when Ben inspires Sam to create the cookbook she's always dreamed about, and she jumps all in on helping him find his father. They soon realize their summer fling may heat up into a happily ever after. You know, it sounds like, I don't know if I'm going to love this, but I hope I prove myself wrong, but I think it's going to be a great summer read. Okay, moving on, we have If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nowlin. I have seen this book many times, but I just never picked it up. So I'm really excited to read this one. I don't know if it's young adult. Yeah, I think it's young adult, which I don't usually read a lot of, but you'll see later that I have a whole series of young adult. So, but it's not that I don't like it. I just never like really pick it up, but I don't know. I am excited to read this one. Autumn and Finn used to be inseparable, but then something changed, or they changed. Now, they do their best to ignore each other. Autumn has her boyfriend, Jamie, and her close-knit group of friends. Finn has become that boy at school, the one everyone wants to be around. That still doesn't stop the way Autumn feels every time she and Finn cross paths, and the growing, nagging thought that maybe things could have been different. Maybe they should be together. And as time passes, Autumn realizes she might not get another chance to make things right before it's too late. Wait, I don't know why I thought this book was part mystery. I think I'm thinking of a different book, because that is not at all what I thought it was about. But it sounds good. Excited to read that. Okay, then I got the third book from Josh's mom of The Summer I Turned Pretty, which I have been watching the show and I am obsessed. I wish I would have read the series before I watched the show, but whatever. But I did hear that the show is a lot different from the books, just in terms of like the characters. Like I heard like Taylor, I don't know why I said I heard, like I read or watched on TikTok that Taylor is like not a good friend in the books, but in the show she's like a really good friend, and Belly like isn't super girly in the books, but she is in the show. But, so I got the third book from Josh's mom, and then with my gift card, I got the first two books, which the only annoying part is that I wish that I had all three of the same. Like, these are the original covers, and these are the, like, TV show covers, and I wish I had the whole series in, like, one or the other, but maybe if I like and enjoy the series, like, I'll get the whole series to match. But if you don't know what this series is about, it's about Belly, who this is the young adult series, by the way, that I was talking about. This is a young adult romance series, but it follows Belly, who goes to Cousins Beach every summer with her family, and they stay at their, like, it's like their mom's best friend's house at the beach. And the mom's best friend, Susanna, has two boys who are around Belly's age and Belly's brother's age. So they're all like best friends growing up. They go to the house every summer. And of course, the summer she turns pretty, the summer she starts maturing and, you know, whatever, the boys start noticing her. And it's basically just like the romance between, it's like a love triangle. What's not to like? It's so good. There's romance, there's friendship, there's some parts are sad, but some parts make you laugh. Like, it's so good. But I am excited to read the series because, like I said, it's gonna be a lot different. And I don't know if that's a good thing and if I'm gonna like that, or if that's gonna make me like not like the books at all. So we'll see. Okay, the next book is Heartbones by Colleen Hoover. And I feel like I read Colleen Hoover during a time when she hadn't popped off as much. And I was like, okay, I'm getting into romance. I'm liking Colleen Hoover. And then I kind of like slowed down on the Colleen Hoover train, and not to be that girl, it's like she's popular now and I don't read her. Cuz that's not true, but I really don't read her books that often anymore. I did read It Starts With Us. That's the last book that I read, and I was like, yeah, I could have done without that book. So I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm like super, super pumped to read this book. I know it's going to be a quick read because I do fly through her books like so fast. And I know it's probably going to be good. I don't know if it'll be my favorite Colleen Hoover book, but we'll see. Bea Grimm has only ever known a life of poverty and neglect. After surviving by any means necessary, she finally has a hard-earned ticket out of Kentucky with a full ride to Penn State. Fun fact, everyone from my high school went to Penn State. Not everyone, but like that's where most people go. Anyways, 2 short months before she's finally free, an unexpected death leaves her homeless and forced to spend the remainder of her summer on a peninsula in Texas with a father she barely knows. Begging the summer to go by quickly and hoping to remain as invisible as possible, Bea wants nothing to do with Samson, the wealthy, brooding guy who lives next door to her father and who couldn't possibly understand where Bea is coming from or what she's been through. But with an almost immediate connection, too intense for them to deny, and features leading them to opposite ends of the country, Bea and Samson decide to stay in the shallow end of a summer fling, neither of them realizing that a rip current is about to drag both of their hearts out to sea. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that sounds better than I thought. I think I'll enjoy that. Okay, the next book is another thriller, and it's The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. I have read another one of Lucy Foley's books, and again, it's like, I love a mystery thriller, like, they're so good. I can't remember what I read from her either, but I do remember that I just like flew through it because I was like, the twists and turns were just so good. So this one I know follows like a bunch of different people, and you're getting like all of their point of views of like what happened this one night. But the back says, meet the residents of number 12, Rue des Amants, a beautiful old apartment building in the City of Light. The socialite, the nice guy, the alcoholic, the girl on the verge, the concierge. Everyone's a neighbor, everyone's a suspect, and everyone knows something they're not telling. See you in Paris. Oui, oui. I can't wait to see this. What am I seeing? I don't know. I can't wait to read this because oh, this is what I read from her. The guest list. Yeah, and it was really good. And I think it was the same thing. Like, you got a bunch of the different like guests that were there. You got their point of views. So I see what she's doing, and it's working. So yeah, excited to read that. Going along with the thriller route, I also got The Housemaid from Josh's mom, but she's reading it right now, so I can't include like the physical copy. But I have also seen this book like all over since it came out, and I've been like so excited to read it. Every day I clean the Winchesters' beautiful house top to bottom. I collect their daughter from school, and I cook a delicious meal for the whole family before heading up to eat alone in my tiny room on the top floor. I try to ignore how Nina makes a mess just to watch me clean it up, how she tells strange lies about her own daughter, and how her husband Andrew seems more broken every day. But as I look into Andrew's handsome brown eyes, so full of pain, it's hard not to imagine what it would be like to live Nina's life. The walk-in closet, the fancy car, the perfect husband. I only try on one of Nina's pristine white dresses once, just to see what it's like. But she finds out, and by the time I realize my attic bedroom door only locks from the outside, it's far too late. But I reassure myself, the Winchesters don't know who I really am. They don't know what I'm capable of. Like, shut up. That sounds so good. So excited to read that. And then I got Emma of 83rd Street by Audrey Beleza and Emily Harding. Gorgeous, gorgeous cover. I'm so excited to read this. I love everything about this. Like, yes. Beautiful, clever, and rich Upper East Sider Emma Woodhouse has lived 23 years with very little to distress or vex her. That is, until her sister's marriage and subsequent move downtown. So when she meets Nadine, a wide-eyed Ohio transplant with a heart of gold and drugstore blonde highlights to match, Emma sees not only a potential new friend, but a new project. If only her overbearing neighbor, George Knightley, would get out of her way. Handsome, smart, and successful, the one thing that frustrates Knightley more than a corked whiskey is his childhood friend, Emma. Whether it's her shopping sprees or her revolving door of hobbies, he is more than happy to lecture her on the finer points of adulthood. But much to his chagrin, Knightley can't help but notice that the girl next door is a woman now, one he suddenly can't get out of his head. As Emma and Knightley collide with everyone from meddling family members to playboy millionaires, the two friends slowly realize their need to always be right has been usurped by a new need entirely, and that even the most familiar stories still have some surprises. I just like, this cover is so cute to me. It's so cute. Set in New York, like, adorable. Yes, can't wait. And the last book is probably like one that I'm most excited about. It's Under the Influence by Noelle Crooks, who I'm so excited. I am dying for this book. I'm dying for the cover, the colors, like, it's, yes, so good.
Oh, stunning.
This I have seen on Instagram on like Simon & Schuster's page, and it's like The Devil Wears Prada, but like now, and I think it's genius. So, after a series of go-nowhere jobs in the New York publishing world, Harper Cruz is broke, lonely, and desperate for a salary that won't leave her scrambling to make rent each month. So when she stumbles across a job posting from an influencer offering triple her last paycheck, she automatically submits her resume. Harper may not be familiar with self-help guru Charlotte Green, but Charlotte's relentless optimism and charismatic can-do spirit have created a cult-like following of women across the country. When she selects Harper out of thousands of other applicants in less than 24 hours, it's obvious she sees something she likes. Despite the pressure to accept the offer just as quickly as she's been given it, Harper decides to take a leap of faith and become the newest member of the Greenhouse. Taking the job means a move to Nashville, and Harper is quickly dazzled by the glamorous world Charlotte has built in Music City. The Greenhouse is more than a workplace, it's a family, and Harper soon finds herself swept into its inner circle. At first, she loves working in such an inspirational environment, where mandatory dance parties, daily intentions, and group bonding activities make up for long hours, and Charlotte's persistent demands for loyalty. But the deeper Harper is pulled into Charlotte's world, the more she realizes that having it all and being it all comes with a price. I can't wait to read this. I think this is Noelle's first book, and fun fact, it's published by Gallery Books, which I would die to work at, but I'm just so excited to read this. So there we have it. That is my big birthday book haul. That wraps up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will definitely keep you in the loop of the books that I'm reading. I'm sure you'll see all these books in my videos to come. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.